Yeah, the sweet, sweet sounds of another episode of the Social Distance Drinking Club. Still social, still distant. Here we are. Yeah, the sweet, sweet. Whoa. Somebody's listening to me already?
Instant replay.
All right, which one of you amateurs is messing this up? It's the start of a new episode.
Let's just go off. We'll come back to it.
To be fair, when I opened the can, it spritzed all over my computer, so it may well have been my computer spritzing out.
Your computer spritz at the sweet sound of my voice.
There's me. I try to get a second screen.
That was the quickest we have ever had to do that.
No, you guys, it's for the Facebook, so that way I can do the Facebook thing and do the show.
I got you. Welcome. It's episode 16. The wonderful cooking episodes. As always, thank you for joining us. As you guys start to come in, you know the question, if you're a fan of the show, is going to be, what are you drinking? Not what are drinking, which I typed in on an episode 2 weeks ago, and nobody told me.
What are drinking, Yousef?
What are drinking? What are drinking? Adam Green, what are you drinking?
Duclaw Brewing Retribution Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout.
Very nice. Brett Berry.
Got a Rita Pale Ale from Pueblo Vida down Tucson way.
Nice. Adam Ledford, I see you've gone a fancy way.
I'm going with a little, the light. Going with a little Persica from Crooked Stave. I like that stone fruit.
Nice. And for those of you in the audience, tell us what you're drinking. We always like to know what everyone is having. I didn't hold back today, gentlemen. I went ahead and splurged for the Safeway Signature Select Seltzer Water. Grapefruit flavor. It's delicious. It's really good stuff. So,
looking for that spot too now.
This stuff is so good. It's got 0% juice. There's no juice in it. It's incredible.
So is it faux pamplemousse then?
Faux pamplemousse, oui. Aaron Manning says he's drinking a 2010 Angel's Share. Salute, cheers. That is a good beverage.
Really quick, Adam Ledford, your beer, am I the only one who thought it was Crooked Stave at first?
I'm gonna go with yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pronounced Stave.
Yes.
I'm ass.
Crooked Stave.
This is a great time to also re-ask the question now that double the audience is here. What are you drinking?
Adam Green, how's your Duclaw?
It's a little bit more emphasis on the du. Duclaw.
Duclaw.
Say it more like Yousef with a Boston accent.
Yeah. Please. Thank you.
But it's really good, actually. I'm very pleased with this beer.
Good. Yeah, tell us what you're drinking, guys, because we like to know what you're doing. It's I like to live vicariously through everyone right now, especially. I'm super excited. We've got a special guest joining us here in a few minutes. My dear friend, Matt James, who runs Bathtub Gin in Seattle, one of my favorite bars in the country. It actually probably is my favorite cocktail bar in the country, but I am very biased. I'll tell you guys all about more of those stories later. But as we transition from the please tell us what you're drinking phase, I also want to know, oh, hey, PJ, homemade lemonade?
Lemonade.
Yes, like Band-Aid. This lemon has helped. Oh, Bobby Bricks hooked you up with some homemade infused key lime vodka recipe stuff. All right, cool, man.
Real good. That sounds real good.
Yeah, I'm going to need you to bring some of that over in like a week. That'd be great.
When does Ramadan end?
Where are we at right now? 10 days, guys. 11 days. 11 days, and I will see you all for a stiff drink. But until then, we'll just keep talk dirty to me. Yeah, please tell me about your lemonade. I'll tell you right now.
I got a fever.
Adam, you're done with school, right? Adam Ledford?
I am done with spring semester. For those who don't know, I am a 41-year-old man finishing up his undergraduate business degree at the University of Arizona. 4.0. I got 400s and a 97. Fucking Spanish.
Spanish is what did you in?
I was going for the sweep, and did not. Yeah. I gotta work harder. Got to work harder in Spanish 102. So, but no, everything's going really well. I'm going to enjoy 3 days off and then do summer courses. So, yay!
Adrianna, thanks for joining us. You'll see Matt James here in a couple of minutes. He can see your comment right now. He's in the green room eating purple Skittles and freshening up because we do that here.
Only the purple ones.
Ooh.
Weird.
I made some food thanks to our wonderful friend Adam Green's fiance sending over a recipe from Thug Kitchen. If you guys have never read anything from Thug Kitchen, it really helps drive recipes home by telling you that if you fuck that shit up, start the fuck over. So, yeah, we did.
The cauliflower was good.
Yeah, it was like it was an awesome cauliflower. I'll probably have a picture of it somewhere in here. I'm sure I sent it to you guys. Delicious. So thank you to your lovely fiance.
And the peanut sauce that you did with it, dude. Tammy, my fiance, we were eating that the other day, and she goes, "It's like if I wasn't marrying you, I'd marry this peanut sauce." And I wasn't sure how to take that because I don't think it's legal to marry culinary dishes, but it is 2020, so
you never know.
Adam, for your sake, I think it's best not to think too deeply into that.
Yeah, or maybe consider taking a peanut sauce bath once a week.
So when
it's pronounced peanut sauce and not peanut sauce.
It's definitely not peanut sauce.
Okay,
I'm afraid to ask how you pronounce tequila.
In a sombrero is the answer to that one.
Still one of the worst things I have ever seen happen on a live stream is Adam Green going from using a lightsaber in on Revenge of the Fifth, looking like a Sith, transitioning to the most abhorrently ugly U of A sombrero while we're talking to the global brand ambassador of Tequila Herradura in Guadalajara.
Cinco de Mayo.
I mean,
hey, he got respectful and put a taco hat on.
Yeah, really saved it. That taco hat was pretty baller, though. Where was that from, you were saying?
There's a minor league baseball team, the Fresno Grizzlies. They do Fresno Tacos Night, on I think it's Thursdays. They call themselves the Fresno Tacos, and they have taco jerseys.
Our friend Lorenzo says, no, it's not legal. Thank you. He's a resident liquor expert and legal expert today. It's not legal to marry the peanut sauce.
Good to know.
But it is pronounced tequila. Thank you, Lorenzo.
Just waiting for Adam to say oh yeah, I remember when I was 15, 16, I went to my first tequilian party.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's see how his Yiddish is throughout the course.
He wore the sombrero for that one.
I'm with Lorenzo. That sombrero was embarrassing.
It's also uncomfortable too. I got if everyone hated it, I got nothing out of it. It was a really bad decision.
One of us has to find a picture of it and dig it up. And Adam Ledford, if you have a chance, maybe you can find it and screenshot it while we're talking to Matt and pull it up. Just because that's got to happen again. We have to reference the damn thing more than once.
I still have it. I know where it's at.
I don't want to make you put it on a second time and not only embarrass the show, but embarrass yourself.
He's like, I know where it's at.
Cancel each other out.
Oh, man. Well, guys, I think I want to bring our dear friend Matt James in to chat with us for a bit. But before I do, I would like to preface with an introduction. Matt James he runs Bathtub Gin, as I mentioned earlier, in Seattle. That is my favorite cocktail bar in the country, and the bar that I had my first craft cocktail experience at 10 years ago, so when I was 21. I actually ditched a wedding I went to about a quarter of the way through and went back to my hotel, changed, met a guy named Aaron at a wine bar at Post Alley right before they closed, and he goes, "Do you like cocktails?" And I said, "Sure, strange Asian man, I like cocktails." And I followed him into an alleyway and entered Bathtub Gin.
You were on a date.
If you knew Aaron, it would not sound like that, but it was a ton of fun. A a lovely photo of the entrance to this place right there. I am not kidding you. It is in an alleyway on 2nd and Blanchard. I can get there in my sleep, drunk, and with both eyes closed. It's right down the street from Pike Place, and it is one of my favorite bars. However, every time I've gone back and I've taken people there, Matt James is almost an illusion. So the fact that he's even here worries me because, for example, photos of Matt James in my archive look like this. Or this. So yeah, that's photos of Matt James. But without further,
is he an angel?
Does that speak to the quality of the cocktail or the photographer? I'm wondering.
I mean, probably both, but that was definitely not a me thing. My other photos of Seattle looked really good. But without further ado, let's bring in our dear friend Matt James.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Now, okay.
What's up, man?
I didn't know. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I think that's the alcohol has everything to do with it, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm mostly a hologram.
But the problem, Matt, is that every time I would go there and have like a wild night, the next day, if I came back the next night, you never worked 2 days in a row. And I don't know if it's a game you guys are playing with me, with people who work there, but I'd be like, oh, is Matt not working tonight? And they'd be like, who's Matt?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I tell them to disavow any knowledge of my presence.
It's incredible.
Yeah, but yeah, no, when we are open, I'm there 4 days a week, and that's 12 hours a shift, and that's enough.
And it's probably things like this that are the reason why people can't remember the next day.
That's absolutely correct. Yeah. We have that effect on people. Just try to ensconce you with booze.
Yeah, or like of different kinds of Fernet. Just across the board. So,
can I show my ignorance and say I didn't know there were different kinds of Fernet?
Oh, that's
well, that's what Branca did, right? Branca kind of did the opposite of what Kleenex did to tissue, right? So Fernet Branca it's a brand of Fernet, right? But when you ask for a Fernet, you usually mean a Branca, right? It's just kind of marketing genius.
Indeed. I had my first shot of Fernet with you guys, actually, at Bathtub Gin. Well, think about it. 10 years ago, nobody was really talking about Fernet. It wasn't something you would actually go to the store and grab. It was still the bartender's handshake, right?
Right.
So
it was a pleasure to pop your cherry, I'll tell you what.
Hey, buddy, that's the third time somebody said that on this show.
That was too much for Adam.
It was fun, and there became this kind of recurring theme that if I flew into Seattle, whether or not I got a hold of Matt James, if I showed up and Matt was there, I remember one time, Matt, you had, I think I came in and you had 3 tables. It was just you because it was late afternoon. Mm-hmm. Sat down with my friend, and her and I, we didn't even exchange words with Matt. You walked over with a bottle of Fernet, sat it down on the table, dropped 2 glasses, poured it, and said, and then walked back to the table. It was like, sorry, I'm busy. Here.
That's about right. Yeah.
That's
your amuse-bouche.
It was a perfect amuse-bouche. Unfortunately, I think we ended up killing that bottle by the end of the night. But
that'll happen. Fernet, it's like the ocean. You got to respect it.
No. What does it say on the back of the bottle? No bounds.
What is it? Greatness knows no bounds. I forget.
I think it's like greatness, no oceans, no bounds.
No horizons, no bound. No. I forget. So, I haven't had Fernet in a while. It's one of those things that I go in stages, right? So Fernet hasn't been necessarily my shot. I haven't turned down a shot of Fernet, but hasn't necessarily been my shot of choice in a while. And then I haven't really touched a bottle of Fernet since we closed down back in April or March. I mean, so it's kind of I'm feeling a little separation anxiety.
I want to talk about that, but what is the shot of choice right now? Have you transitioned to chartreuse? I know that you were drinking JMO on How to Be a Better Drinker, your podcast.
I did Jameson on How to Be a Better Drinker, mostly because my co-host Justin had that at his place.
Okay.
But chartreuse is a big one for me. Overholt, always going to be in my back pocket. I like whiskey a lot. Been a big fan of whiskey.
Nice.
Same.
Yeah.
Green is kind of about whiskey right now too.
No,
I don't know if you can tell by my complexion, but I'm mostly Scottish, and kind of goes with the bloodline.
no, I just assume for complexion you don't go out during the day.
Look at how Scottish he looks.
Well, I live in Seattle, so
Don't let the complexion fool you. He's Scottish, but he's really all about the Irish whiskey.
no, not at all. That was definitely because Justin asked for that to be the shot of choice that night.
You know what's fun? Like, you guys are talking about Fernet, and I don't think I'd ever heard of Fernet until I met Yousef.
Yeah,
I was I'm patting myself on the goddamn shoulder back right now because I feel like I was the unofficial Southwestern rep for Fernet Branca before they even had the Branca games in San Francisco. It was, you couldn't find it anywhere at a bar here. I would mention it, and people would be like, I've had it in other states. That's
well, it was like the coronavirus, the way it kind of spread out. You were patient zero for Arizona, and you got infected.
So basically, what Matt is saying is that I spread a plague of Fernet on Arizona.
Yeah, a black wave.
Which is also my stripper name, Black Wave.
No.
A lot of excitement in your face there.
I think I was trying to make a joke. That's where I knew you from.
Yeah. Like, I heard that's you.
Hey,
I always
PJ
thought Robin Kebabin.
PJ says Kentucky bourbon for the win. Yeah, usually. Pappy? PJ's a big fan. I know that. And he does say slancha to you as well, Matt. Matt, what are you drinking? We didn't get a chance to ask.
Well, I got a little red wine, northwestern Italy, Nebbiolo, Viette.
Very nice. Hold on, let me get in there.
A little Piedmonte.
Have your drinking habits changed over these last 6 weeks, 7 weeks? It sounds like.
Well, I haven't been working, so I haven't been drinking as much. That's it's a joke.
Wait, do that again.
That was when you guys were supposed to laugh about that.
We're all just like,
usually, so bartenders don't. I'm speaking as myself as being a representative as a bunch of bartenders. We don't usually drink like cocktails or stuff like that. So we're usually just shot and beer type deal or wine. I don't drink at home that much usually. So I drink when I cook. But my girlfriend and I will drink wine, and we actually have done shots at home of whiskey because of the fact that we have not been going out to each other's bars and doing shots. A lot of times when I walk into a bar, if I know the bartender, they're usually, hey, let's do a shot type of deal. And
right.
So I think my liquor consumption actually has gone down since I'm not going to bars. But a lot of wine and straight booze. I didn't know how long this was going to go. And I also, knowing Yousef, I don't think there's a problem with too much booze. I also here I've got the Rum Clement out of Martinique. It's a rum agricole that I think I'm going to get into here in a second. And
you have to tell us about it when you crack it open. I'm going to step away for a second, but I do want to give you an opportunity to talk a little bit about how to be a better drinker, which you've been doing for how many years now?
It's been about 3 or 4.
Okay.
Right in there. Yeah. I think we're coming up on 4 in November.
And I would imagine that the last couple of months has given you an opportunity to crank out a few more episodes than you normally would.
We got a couple episodes, but I don't know. I mean, you've listened to it, Yousef, and if anybody's listened, my friend Justin, who's my co-host, he's a complicated man. He's got a lot of things that go on. You could make plans for a week from now with him, and the day before he might say, "Hey, so What are we not doing that? Well, yeah, I haven't talked to you about it because I haven't seen you, but the fact is, yeah, still going on. But yeah, no, we've got episodes out, and I think I'm gonna do a couple of videos and that sort of deal. So
nice. Well, we gotta figure out if we can't collab on some stuff, man. We'll
yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. I'd love to have you on.
Some virtual videos we can record from
Yeah.
2 states in different places coming together.
It's one show.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys. Feel free to, please, if you guys know Matt James, you're watching right now, write a comment in there. Tell us about your favorite memory or not having any memory of Matt James. This is the perfect opportunity.
My favorite Matt James memory is this.
This is a good one. This is my favorite memory with you, man.
You won't remember this tomorrow.
All of you.
I don't recall meeting Matt before, so I assume we've had some fucking amazing times.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to watch
Always
the
a
show
good time.
later on the archive, and he's going to be blurry for some reason.
Like, what was that movie where they it was the dystopian future and the assassin digitally edited herself out of all the photos? Anon, something like that. Anyway, it wasn't great.
See, in the public comments, Adam, I just went with that Matt is just in a low-budget version of Nicolas Cage in City of Angels when he's the angel that can't be seen.
I will take that anytime. Yeah, that's one of the nicest compliments that I've ever received.
Low budget Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Man, you need some better friends. If low budget Nicolas Cage is a win.
Yeah. So David Craviota says, "Love this, miss. Have missed Bathtub so much."
Yeah. Well, we miss you all very much. We're closed right now, obviously. Closed down on March 15th, and because that was when the state order went into place. And originally we were like, okay, let's clean this place up. I juiced all the fruit and froze it so that would keep. And we were like, okay, let's see if we can do some to-go cocktails at some point. Did the research into it. It was illegal at the time. We were thinking about maybe still doing it, but then we were like, oh, well, what's the point type of deal. We did some for some people who we know. But then we were like, okay, let's there's some renovations that we want to get done. Let's get those done. We did that. Let's see, we started doing that last week. That's when the demo started. And the day that we started doing that is when the Liquor Control Board made the announcement that they were allowing to-go cocktails as long as they were sealed. So
Oh my God.
I was like, oh yeah, 2 months in, we're going to change the regulations. It's right up. It's for par for the Washington State Liquor Control Board.
That's about as Simpsons as you can get as far as a timeline right there. That's ridiculous.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. 2 months of, hey, no, you're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed to do it. And then, as soon as we start breaking down the bar, and right now it looks like a shell of a bar. I'll tell you what, it's interesting, but it's going to look a lot nicer when we eventually open up in the after times.
Nice. Do you have any sort of timeline picked out for that, or obviously there's so much unknown.
Yeah, right now the state. I mean, you guys are all in Arizona, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys are starting to open up right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. For us, that's on the horizon. We don't know when that. I mean, they've got a plan for the different phases, but they're not going to tell you when the phases are actually starting and stuff like that. So, right now, all the booze is in boxes, and the bar is there's not a bar. So, so hope in the next week or so it'll be started to build back up, and then we'll see. We'll go from there. It's kind of a day-to-day deal, but I'm expecting June, end of June type of deal.
Yeah. How has it been for the local food and restaurant and drink industries in Seattle? I go up there a lot. My company I work for, their headquarters is up there. I'm actually supposed to be getting married in September in the Sound. So
Congratulations.
hopefully we'll all be up there in a few months.
Yeah.
And get a lot of family. My dad's from the other side of the state, but I got a lot of family up there. We're starting to. We had a whole conversation Sunday with some restaurant owners and people in the industry, and complexities of opening up, and I'm curious to see what the perspective has been for the service industry and bars and restaurants there, and maybe I'm partially just curious to hear how that perspective is in a, shall we say, different cultural environment.
Right.
Sometimes is what Arizona has.
And obviously, as you guys were saying before, Bathtub Gin is right in the middle of downtown Seattle. So that week of March, I want to say March 12th, when, Amazon was not, it's a little startup down the street from us, about 4 blocks down is where this guy named Jeffrey Bezos, he has his office. So little online startup. I think they're a comer, but they're 4 blocks away. They weren't, for basically the entire month of March, they weren't having any of their employees come in to work. Microsoft was having everybody stay home. Google, Facebook, they're all downtown too. And so there's probably at least 100,000 people who are usually downtown are not downtown. So it was hitting some bars and restaurants pretty hard right from, I'd say like the beginning of March. And then like within 24 hours, there was a restaurant closing 2 blocks away, Pincho. They were an awesome Spanish restaurant. They closed down because they were like, hey, we're not going to have the tourism at all this year. And we got a bunch of cruises coming through Seattle that go on up to Alaska. Mm-hmm. So they closed down for good. They were like, hey, this summer's not going to be good for us. We're closing down. Another restaurant on the same block as Bathtub Gin closed down, and another bar closed down a block away. So that was like when it started to go, oh, this is real. And then obviously the big quarantine that was, or shutting down all the restaurants first, and then the quarantine really kind of sucked. But my girlfriend runs a wine bar over up on the other side of Capitol Hill, so about a few miles from downtown, and they're doing to-go food. They've still got their retail space going, but it's tough for those that don't have, that ability to do to-go food, and also, for the business owners, keeping it open. What if you're not like known for food, and keep it open? Like, you're not going to get the to-go orders, and you're paying somebody who could be going on the unemployment, mm-hmm. Which I'll tell you what, most people are making, for them to come back, because we make so much of a high percentage in tips, for them to be brought back right after we open, that might not be stand to reason to be actually a good idea.
Yeah, right.
I will say I am on unemployment for the first time in my life, and it's been good. It's not the whole thing, but it's good. Yeah, it's tough. And all those PPP loans, it's so vague. You don't get like a whole, there aren't too many, they're not telling you what the stipulations are that are going to go along with those loans. They're making it up as they go. I was reading the Wall Street Journal the day that they did the press conference with Steve Mnuchin and the Secretary of Treasury, who announced that they were going to give all these loans out, these SBA loans, $350 billion or whatever it was. And but I read the Wall Street Journal an hour before that press conference, and they were saying that it was, the interest rate was going to be 0.5%. At the press conference, they changed that. I think the Wall Street Journal is probably like pretty, maybe that article was written 2 hours before I read it, but in that span of 3 hours, they changed the interest rate from 0.5% to 1%. Now, and I don't know if those loans are going to be forgiven or not, because they haven't stipulated it exactly. They're changing it as they go.
It's a wait and see for everybody right now.
Yeah.
Stay updated on Twitter, though. That's probably where the final answer
Yeah, I didn't read all 125 of his tweets on Sunday.
Matt, I want to share some comments here that I don't know if you put these up yet, Adam Ledford, when I stepped away.
No, from Adrianna?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
She says her favorite memory of Bathtub Gin is running into the ghost downstairs. You're the only ghost I know at Bathtub Gin.
Yeah. Well, we're all ghosts down there. No, there is known to be a ghost at Bathtub Gin. Friendly ghost. But books have fallen down. People have felt presences and stuff like that. Again, it might be the alcohol, but yeah.
It could be. There is
probably supernatural things more.
See if I can dig up some photos
and everything, you know.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can dig up some photos because Bathtub Gin is interesting. The top is really only how many seats are up there at the bar? I think there's 8.
At the bar top, there's 6.
6.
And then there's a table next to it that has. I mean, we could fit 4 in there.
Yeah, and then there's the basement, which is the library room essentially, right?
We got 2 rooms down below. One room with 5 small tables, and then another room we call the library that has a couple banquettes and a couch. And a fireplace, one of those electric fireplaces that's probably got a gerbil in there, just going nuts.
And Adrianna says apparently a standing spot too. It's always a standing
spot.
Corner.
So A and Smokey are always in the corner hanging out. They're very patient because they usually come in on the weekends, but love those guys. Big shout out to them. Hope you guys are doing well, staying safe and all that. So. Cheers.
You tell Mr. James how you're feeling and he makes it cured. That is 100% accurate every time. I want to ask everybody a question. I think we did it in the comments, but I'm going to ask everybody here too. What craft cocktail do you miss the most? And for you, Matt, what do you miss making the most or what do you miss drinking the most?
You know, one of my favorite drinks to make is a Sazerac. Just because it's got all the history with it. My favorite writer is Ernest Hemingway, and because you got short, condensed, to the point sentences. I just think that's beauty and simplicity, and that's what the Sazerac is. There's only 4 ingredients, and every single one of them needs to be there. Everything's got a point. But as far as a cocktail that I miss drinking, probably a daiquiri.
Nice.
But, just a classic daiquiri.
Is the DTO a thing out there where you just slam the daiquiri and get back to okay? Because I miss that.
Absolutely.
I miss that. For anyone who doesn't know, the DTO is a daiquiri timeout. You just whatever you're doing, you stop doing it, just slam a daiquiri straight up and move on with going back to what you were doing.
I can get behind that. That's a solid philosophy.
Oh yeah.
And for
sounds
those
like
of you that don't know,
sounds like a fancy getting iced.
I don't think you can sneak a DTO over. You'd have to carefully place it.
But, I mean, get creative and have a positive attitude, Yousef.
I'm sorry, that's on me. You know what? This has jaded me completely. It's the quarantine's fault, man. It's the quarantine's fault.
I like the idea that you can say "Hey, do you see the way Brett's looking at me over there? I think he's DTO."
I think he's DTO. I want to talk real quick. I know we've talked about Fernet. We've probably burned it through the ground. But before we started the show, we were talking about the elusive Fernet coin.
Right.
And there is your original Milano Fernet Branca coin, the OG coin. Now there are a ton of these challenge coins that are issued by the USBG or different states have had them when they've had events. I still don't have one. And remember, I'm being blamed for telling you guys about Fernet.
Well, you'll have to send me your address and we'll figure something out.
All right, we'll make it happen.
I got a quick question, Matt. So I assume you met Yousef, or Yousef met you when he was up there traveling, just in Seattle or something. What's your first memory of Yousef like? How did you guys become friends?
You made it sound dirty.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why?
No, I mean, Yousef actually explained the first time he came into Bathtub Gin. Guess what? He's an affable guy. Came in, I mean, that's about it. I don't know if you've actually hung out outside of Bathtub Gin before.
I don't know that we ever have been able to, because you're always
exactly.
It's like if you weren't at BTG, you were somewhere else,
Yeah, especially in those earlier years. Now I'm basically exclusively at Bathtub Gin, but I was working a bunch of different places, especially 5 years ago and before that. But just affable guy, liked him. I asked him about, or I think it was Aaron who actually brought up Fernet, and so we all did a shot of Fernet, and he liked it.
I might actually have that photo somewhere of me, you, and Aaron having a shot of Fernet behind the bar. There's some interesting ones that I dug up before the show that are really funny. There's the time that you showed up and you weren't working. The one time, there it is.
There we go.
That's
when I had hair.
That's pre-coronavirus, several years ago, back when Yousef didn't have a beard.
That's when that was my last stand. It was like the battle of the bulge for my hair. And I was like, how long can I get it before I cut it off? And I'm not going back. So
when I hear the phrases battle of the bulge and my hair, I'm not thinking about the top of your head, sir.
Battle of the bulge and my hair. Well,
oh my God! I just had an epiphany.
What?
Yousef, there's a ghost at Bathtub Gin.
Okay.
You've never seen him outside of the bar. Are we dealing with an Overlook Hotel kind of situation here? Is he the bartender from The Shining?
Oh, is
this just a collective figment of our unconscious right now?
This is an interesting question that you've posed.
We're gonna have to hang out outside and see if I show up.
It's true, and I'm almost sad that I didn't make it. I am sad that I didn't make it out to the event you guys had, where it was basically a block party outside of the bar, right?
Yeah, that was our 10th anniversary back in July, in the before times. And
I saw photos of. Does Matt James exist? Breaking news. Is this even Matt? I mean, could be a body.
Wait, he's somewhere, I'm sure.
You have pictures of some guy with hair and blurry from 10 years ago. How do we know? This was in fact a cheap Nicolas Cage ripoff.
I gotta find the photo of us by the bar, but Matt, if you have one, send it to me. That day from the block party, people printed shirts that said Matt James, bitch.
Yeah, that was from, let's see, I guess that was 7 years ago, 8 years ago, somewhere in there. And I was in a cocktail contest, and a bunch of my friends decided to have that shirt printed out. And so that I because of that Dave Chappelle sketch, Rick James, I'm Rick James, bitch.
It was a timely reference then as it is now with this.
Exactly, right?
So. You missed the opportunity to write on the back, though. Fernet is a hell of a drug.
I had nothing to do with those shirts, I'll tell you what. But they all surprised me and showed up with them on, and it was ridiculous.
Genius. By the way, I'm thinking of times where you did something totally unorthodox behind the bar. I don't remember what drink you were trying to make us, but you said you needed tobacco bitters, and he didn't have any. And so Matt looks around, and he's like, I don't have any tobacco bitters. And he reaches into his pocket like a good Pacific Northwestern man with a pack of smokes right here at the time, and pulls a cigarette out, and I kid you not, just lights it and puts it in my drink.
Yeah, get those essences in there.
Yeah, I don't have any tobacco bitters. Here's some.
I don't think I lit it. I think I sprinkled some of the cigarette tobacco on top.
You usually have to go to a homeless person to find that kind of ingenuity with a cigarette.
Well, I will admit I stole that. I stole that idea from Thomas Keller when Anthony Bourdain went to the French Laundry for the first time in his show. He was given a creme brulee that was infused with tobacco, and there was tobacco sprinkled on top.
Well, I recall you lighting it, but hell if I know.
Yousef just remembers being lit.
I remember being real lit. Yes, that happened. I do have the photo of Whoa, man. Would you believe me if I told you this was 2013, Matt? I'm going to show you guys this photo. 2013 with Aaron behind the bar. And this would have been like the second or third trip out to Seattle where we did a shot of Brunette when I walked into the bar. And there it is, right there. Look, hair.
God.
Yeah, that's more like National Treasure, Nick Cage.
I won't believe that that's 2013 because we look a lot younger than 7 years ago. I'll tell you what.
We aged gracefully. What are you talking
about? Yeah. I think we've earned every single mile on our faces there.
100%. 100%. Man, this is I'm bringing back wonderful memories, and I can't wait to come see you. You guys are at the top of the list, and I don't know, boys. If we're all going to Brett's wedding and it's in the Sound, maybe we take a quick pit stop in Seattle for drinks. Hanging out with Matt.
I think you should.
I mean, you pretty much have to get to the islands and the ferries.
Well, I mean, we do that after the wedding actually all the way happens and is confirmed and everything? Because I'm seeing that to go ahead of time.
Yeah, where we don't make it to the wedding.
What do you say, Adam? What do you think is going to happen out there?
I would say Hangover 1, Hangover 2, or Hangover 3. One of those three scenarios would be what happens if we go to Bathtub Gin before your wedding.
Hey, as we inch into the 40-minute mark, I would imagine it's time to open up another drink for you guys, or switch it up. So who they want to open?
I don't know.
I already, Matt's in Seattle. I got a Rainy Days Hazy IPA from our Dark Sky up north that our friend Sam Fraser brought back to me.
Very nice.
Very cool.
Matt, did you transition to the rum, the Martinique rum?
No, but not yet. But I think I'm going to do a shot here.
Okay.
If you cannot, I'm drinking for two.
I appreciate it. Well, if you want, I would also I would love it if you made us a drink. Maybe people can have that moment of almost being at Bathtub Gin with Matt James on the show today.
Yeah, I can make that happen. It's not going to be a Bathtub Gin drink, I'll tell you what, but it will be like one of a quick fire challenge with not much to work with. Here.
Matt, look around. Matt, look around. Do you see any spent cigarette butts that you might be able to?
I'm all out.
Service.
Oh, guys! Breaking news: the people have spoken. Nathaniel says there is not enough Adams on Social Distance Drinking Club.
Fake news.
There's 2 Adams. Let's do.
It's a good start.
Yeah. Well, you know what? One of these days we'll just come on the show and all come in with our names as Adam.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, I'll be Yadam. Brett will be Badam.
Adam Green will be Adam.
Adam Green.
Adam Grenet.
Well, I'm going to do this shot and then I'll make that drink real quick.
Well, cheers.
Cheers, guys.
A virtual salud.
I don't.
Son,
Do this when I got
In my sleepy whale glass of delicious.
Adam needs a beer. Adam, do you need us to let you go and get a beer?
Please.
Distance. And as Matt James fumbles through his kitchen back there, PJ says, "We are all Adam." Great, guys. We started a cult.
Wait, which Adam?
It doesn't matter. We are all Adam. We're like,
I think it matters.
Oh no, not that view. There.
Everyone hates that view.
That is, yeah. Why have that in there? StreamYard. If you're watching, and we know you're watching, take that out.
You know what it is? Is it looks like a bad episode of Crossfire where we're just going to start talking over each other and yelling. It's just.
I mean, realistically, let's be honest. It'd be the best.
Matt's trying to talk to us in the background. Let me bring him in. What's up, buddy?
No, I was just wondering if there was a good episode of Crossfire.
No, I mean there probably was one.
The one where Jon Stewart yelled at them.
Yeah, the best episode of Crossfire. Jon Stewart going, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
Stop hurting America.
That's a personal favorite. What do you got? What do you got cranking away over there, Matt James?
All right, so I looked in my fridge, and I don't keep ice in here because I actually live in the same building as Bathtub Gin, so I don't really need ice. Got an ice machine downstairs, right? But I do have
unless
ice
you
cream.
demolish your bar.
What's that?
Unless you, I don't know, demolish your bar.
Exactly. But I've got this rum from Mexico, Europan, and I've got some strawberry ice cream, and I've got a lemon vitamin water, and then I've got my magic bullet, and that's going to be the cocktail.
So we have basically decided to use whatever the hell you have in the kitchen right now.
Yep.
Okay.
You got it.
I'm digging it. Can we get to tilt the? Is there a blender? Are you making like a? Is that like a Nutribullet?
Yeah, it's a Nutribullet.
Oh, I'm excited.
All right.
That's the way it's gonna work.
All right, walk us through it as you pour it in, and if you can tilt your camera down, I'd love to show everybody what the hell is happening in Matt James's kitchen. Remember, guys, he lives upstairs from Bathtub Gin.
All right, I'm just gonna take this. So, what I've got here is just the magic bullet, some ice cream, and then the lemon vitamin water here.
Yeah.
And I put a healthy amount. It's about 4 ounces of rum in there. And I'm gonna use my stool here.
You've inspired me to start slapping together drinks with whatever the hell I have in the kitchen.
Well, this all started when I was much younger, and we would go to a friend's place after the bars closed.
Okay.
Like, hey Matt, why don't you make a cocktail? And then I'd just go through their refrigerator and try to figure out what they have. A lot of jam drinks, you know.
I would imagine. I think we did a few weeks back before I took my hiatus. We did something with the jams in my fridge and some gin. Just strained it out.
It's perfect.
So strawberry ice cream. What is that? Some Haagen-Dazs there?
Yeah, Haagen-Dazs brand. You know, interesting fact. You know what Haagen-Dazs means?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Literally nothing.
Yeah. Sounds Danish enough.
So it's a made-up phrase, or it's a phrase that means nothing?
It's made up.
Okay. My wife, she's a PhD geneticist, and when she was in grad school, her first project was working on a gene called onzin, which was the Dutch word for nonsense. And she thought that is a really good summary of how I'm feeling my fifth year of a postdoc here, or of a.
I like it. All right.
I am so intrigued by this boat drink, for lack of a better word.
That's basically what it is. So
Mexican rum deep, right? And some lemon vitamin water and some ice cream. That's where we're at right now.
Yeah. Like I said, not many cocktails being made in here. And I don't have any ice. So
when you don't have ice, use the cream.
Yeah. I'm going to fumble around with this for a second here.
You go ahead, man. Do your thing. David Craviotto, who's watching on YouTube, thanks for watching, David, says, first day bathtub is open. I'm bringing Matt James some flowers. So, yeah, you're getting flowers, buddy.
Love it.
Nate, we'll figure out what happen.
We can make that happen.
Definitely. Speaking of which, while you're watching right now, and as Matt is blending it up, if you go,
really good beard.
If you go to socialdistancedrinkingclub.com, guys, you can get a shirt, some stickers,
and Red will shave his beard and send you the trimmings, and you can put them on your shirt in an outline of his beard.
I feel like, and this sounds crazy, if we offered beard trimmings from Adam Ledford, someone might pay for it.
Wait, we'll set a price, and then we will debate whether this is actually a thing. I don't want to be voodooed. All right, I think Matt's off the blender. Let's bring him back.
I want to be voodooed. Beer name.
Beer name.
All right. Get on there.
How's it?
All right.
Did you taste it yet?
So that's what this looks like now. I went with less ice cream than like a milkshake and more rum. I find that is probably a better idea, but you can see there's a nice foam right on top.
It actually looks really good.
It does look really good.
Yeah.
It's fucking dope.
I'm not gonna lie. At this point, guys, maybe everyone should go run into their kitchen. I see you taking notes there, Adam Ledford.
Less ice cream, more
rum.
Yes.
Yeah. More rum.
Got it.
Yeah, I think that's about 4 ounces of rum, about 2 ounces of the vitamin water lemon, no sugar, no guilt, and then about, I would say that's about, if you smushed it down, that would be about 2 ounces of the ice cream there. So,
well, PJ has said you are now the MacGyver of mixology, sir.
it's far too kind.
And
I aspire to be MacGyver.
Thank you, Brett, for putting it in the comments, because this is genius. Less ice cream, more rum. The quarantine diet. Yeah. Happy with it, though?
I'm not proud of it.
Okay. Good enough for me, man.
How I feel
I'm
about
not using a double negative.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Guys, Nate called us out. He said we never said cheers. He did get a new gin.
Ah,
I got
guys. Cheers.
left in here. Let's see. Salud. Well,
This is the way most of my podcasts go. I usually end up with about 3 different drinks in front of me.
it happens.
So
It happens.
So
my natural state. So,
for folks
this
who are
is-
not familiar with the podcast, like what would walk us through, like kind of what someone would expect in an episode?
Yeah, so it's a couple of bartenders talking about booze. We start off the show with like anything good in life with a shot, and that kind of kicks off what we're going to be talking about. That's usually the topic for the main topic of the show. Try to give a little bit of the history, a little bit about how it's made. Why are we drinking it? Why is it important? Talk about a little bit about the marketing as well. And if they're lying to you or not. And then we also touch on just topics throughout the drinking world. And we try to keep it light and entertaining, and if we could, and informative. If we could achieve any of those, that'd be awesome.
How do you do that? Because we've been trying that for 15 plus episodes now.
You got to leave it.
I don't know if I've
Shit on our show.
done 200 episodes, and I don't know if I've achieved it.
Yeah, and again, it was how many episodes? 182 is what I saw.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, with a podcast, there's no video, so Yousef can't possibly hold cans upside down when chilling for promotional material. That's a start.
That's not.
Are you working on your pitchman attributes, Yousef?
Yeah, I tried to get Truly to give us some love at the beginning of this because I was crushing Trulies for the first 2 weeks. So I just want to show everybody the page real quick. This is How to Be a Better Drinker. It is on Apple for podcasts. Are you on Spotify as well?
Yeah, we're wherever you get your podcast, we'll be there.
Sweet. I do love this description. I want to hear about this last episode you released last week. Supposedly, Tony the Mover, who lives upstairs from you. Tell us about Tony the Mover. Matt.
I don't know. I did not give him the name Tony or anything like that, but I was saying that I feel like they might have a pet Tyrannosaurus Rex up there. I don't know. I don't know what goes on up there, but it's pretty loud usually.
A pet Tyrannosaurus Rex sounds like the best quarantine purchase ever.
Yeah. I mean, like, seems like a nice guy. I don't know, but it's definitely a dude.
Definitely a
That's
dude.
that guy's the guy that watched Tiger King and's like, pussies. I got T-Rex.
How did you like Tiger King?
Oh, yikes.
I haven't watched it.
I was entertained. That's all I'm looking for. I was entertained.
If
Yousef,
you want
you
to
gonna
know
take
America,
I got 2 to 3 episodes in, and I told myself I'm just going to revisit it after everyone's done talking about it. That's my thing. Like once everyone's done talking about Tiger King, I will go and watch it.
Not to. Well, go ahead, Matt.
I watched like the first couple episodes. Of course, I was unemployed, and I think this was the second week of quarantine, and so I mean, like, I didn't have much to do at the bar. I cleaned everything, and so I liked to eat, so I ate a lot of pasta, and I was watching it, and I went 3 episodes in because I wanted to give it a chance because everybody was talking about it. Then I was like, I'm 3 episodes in. I've got to finish it off. But right. I feel like there was a time back in our younger days where these people would be in our lives for half an hour at a time, and then they'd be gone. And that was called the Jerry Springer Show. And turns out that's about the amount of time that these people should have been in our lives. Yeah.
I miss the absurdity of having people to compare yourself to and go, oh shit, my life is looking really good right now because I don't run a tiger farm and have, you know, weird ugly orgies in the spare time. I don't know how to summarize this.
My favorite part of that show is that with each episode, there's an increasingly weird person that arrives on the scene to like just be like, wow, all right. And I also felt not to, you know, spoiler alert. First episode, I'm like, no bullshit. Carol is the craziest motherfucker in this whole thing.
Well, there is no spoiler alert anymore. Everyone's been talking about Carol Baskin killing her husband since like the show was out for an hour, and people were like, "That bitch killed her husband."
Well, the thing is, I don't feel like Joe Exotic was that much better.
Probably not.
You know, like all he did was talk about killing Carol Baskin because she killed her husband. I'm like, did you have a really emotional connection to her ex-husband? No, you didn't. And you were doing the same thing that she was doing. It was just a lot of people being angry about being the same.
The least crazy people on there are the guy that had no freaking legs and like half of his teeth, and the guy that was one of his husbands but was missing the teeth was like the second least crazy person on the whole thing.
There was only one full set of teeth on the whole show.
Was it the Tigers?
Yeah, he was a meth addict.
It's true.
And he was a normal person.
My favorite is the person that had their arm bit off. It was like, well, shit. Get back to work.
Nate Farrow, by the way, with the comment I have up here. When I got my Trump money, I almost went and bought a tiger cub. Fair enough, man.
That is the most 2020 thing that I've ever heard.
I gotta get some ice for my room temp seltzer. I'll be right back, guys. But
room temp seltzer?
Hey guys, it only took this many episodes to start talking about Tiger King.
Yep, it happened.
I still haven't seen it, but that's because my dog will pack the TV when he sees animals on it, and I just assumed the show about tigers would be a bad idea.
Dexter would have a heart attack watching Tiger King. Yeah,
and then the tigers would come on.
We thought about doing an episode and having all like tiger themed beers. So like there's the tiger beer from like Southeast Asia, and there's like 3 Claw and 1 Claw from Westbrook, and like we thought about it, like there's actually you could do a lot of tiger beers for that, and then we're like we don't want to talk about tigers for an hour.
Was that for our show?
Yeah.
No one told me.
It was in the pre-show meeting, Adam. I'm not surprised.
Story checks out.
Hold on. Did I hear the word pre-show meeting and Adam in the same sentence? But
not in the same place. That's the important thing.
Never.
Adam is like the ghost of Bathtub Gin when it comes to pre-show meetings.
You're there in spirit.
Yes.
I was going to make a really really old reference. It's like Lady Hawk, where Adam Green and the pre-show meeting can't exist at the same time. You know, one's a tiger, I guess. No.
There ain't enough room for the both of us. That's what I'm saying.
By the way, I went with some Simply Lemonade.
Ooh, wow.
Can't you? Oh, you can eat after 7 o'clock. You're just not drinking alcohol.
Yeah, I'm taking a break. It's good because if anyone remembers the first 2 weeks we did this show, our livers don't, and most of us probably don't either.
Yeah. Sorry to ruin it, but Yousef wasn't actually getting an antibody test on Sunday. He was going to check his liver enzymes.
Yeah. And with that being said, shout out to Milk Thistle, the supplement for take Matt's nodding his head because he knows. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
we've all been told by either a doctor or a raging alcoholic to take Milk Thistle on a daily basis. So if you're not, you're welcome. We should get an affiliate link for Milk Thistle and make some money off of this.
Hold the label right side up.
Hey, Yousef, you know what works better than milk thistle? Hydroxychloroquine.
Chloroquine? Yeah.
Yeah.
Chloroquine,
Milk thistle is the hydroxychloroquine of the liver.
Hydroxychloroquine, however, may be a new brand of makeup or a new child's name.
Beer name.
Yeah. By the way, it's been a new child's name since like 6 weeks ago, man.
Yeah.
Somebody who's going to buy Tiger King's Tiger Farm it was just born named hydroxychloroquine.
How do you pronounce Elon Musk's kid's name?
Nobody knows.
Sam.
Future asshole.
Yeah. Just a jackass. Yeah.
It's
All right.
what is Elon Musk's kid? It's like XAE12.
Yeah, it's like what their favorite song and just like favorite equation. I don't know.
It's something like that. I'm going to put it up here for
Great segue. What's your guys' favorite equation?
that one. That's my favorite right there.
Dude,
I
so
like the Pythagorean theorem myself, actually, but you know.
I don't think I can find the tweet
You
fast
would.
enough, but there was somebody tweeted and they were like, the teacher was like, X diphthong A12, and it's like X diphthong A12 says present, and then the teacher's like, Ahmed, and Ahmed just has the straight line face. It's like trying to describe a meme, but holy shit, is it funny? I'll find it. I'll post it on the social on the page.
Something tells me that this kid is going to get his name pronounced perfectly fine, and I had to go through my childhood getting called
Right.
Yousef,
Himself.
Yousef and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat is my favorite.
Yeah, it's a wonderful remake. It just takes place in Morocco the whole time. The whole thing is in Morocco.
And there are many, many more brothers.
And I get thrown into a well. It's a blast. So much fun. Oh man, I'm having FOMO because I want to have a drink with Matt right now. So I'm telling you guys, it's a must. We're going there for Brett's pre and post wedding. Screw it.
I can RSVP for pre, post. There's no post for me.
What's wrong with post?
I got to get to another wedding.
Immediately after his?
Basically.
Dang.
In another state.
In another state? Where have you got to go?
Oh, Oregon.
Yeah. But like
Uh,
the campground, like 3 hours outside of Portland.
Seattle, Oregon.
I have a travel day.
Which
Well,
one?
to be fair, that drive takes a while, especially when you're hungover after a wedding. I know.
Exactly.
Hey, I want to
Been
show.
there.
Thank you.
I want to show Matt, our friend Brett here, his fiance Ellie, apparently took a master class on cocktails. She signed up and watched the
oh
master.
yeah, that one.
Yeah, exactly. And she also said it was kind of dumb and a waste of time.
Masterclass.
So I have never actually heard of that bartender. I'm sure she's great, but I have never heard of her before, and I'm like, I was just amazed.
Neither have I. But we did get this, apparently.
That's cool.
It was gin.
It was.
What else, Brett?
Yeah, she kind of made it with what we had. She had got watermelon, so she muddled a bunch of watermelon to get some watermelon juice, gin. I think she put in some LaCroix, the basil on top from the garden, and some egg white. And I think she maybe put some lemon juice too.
Yeah. So
and it was delicious and pretty.
I'm impressed.
Tell her it's like that's like a pink lady, a watermelon pink lady.
There you go.
Very similar to a classic cocktail that was very popular during Prohibition amongst the social set of Park Avenue. We'd have their butlers make it, and that drink is gin and some grenadine and lemon and a little bit of sugar and egg white. But that's the more advanced version.
Hey, for somebody that doesn't make cocktails very often, to pull out egg whites, I was pretty impressed.
Oh yeah, and she got a great shake on it. I don't know if she shook it or if she used one of those hand mixers or what, but yeah.
I think she shook it, and she just kind of like, I was still working in the office, and she just brought that in. I'm like, this is amazing.
That girl.
That's some solid, some foam. Yeah.
Well, she's a CrossFitter, so that was her wad actually.
So it's some solid head on there. That's what I'm saying.
Just don't, and
Ellie gave you great head. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, real good, foamy.
Time we hit the old dusty trail with that.
And that's about it for social distancing.
Oh, good show, everyone.
Woo! We did it.
Everybody. We've hit cocktails, Frenette. We watched Matt James make a drink out of Haagen-Dazs strawberry ice cream and vitamin water, 0 calorie.
Zero calories.
And a shitload of rum.
Not enough rum, apparently.
Mexican rum too.
We've talked about Asher A12.
There we go.
Supposedly that's his legal name is actually Asher, by the way.
Okay.
And then we still don't know if Matt James really exists.
Yeah, can I share my favorite Elon?
They're doing crazy things with AI right now. So
yeah, right. No, I was gonna say, can I share my favorite Elon Musk is an asshole fact? Is that he's on the record is basically saying that we're most likely living in a simulation.
Yeah.
So, it makes this whole I'm gonna sell all my possessions. Like that doesn't mean as much when we're living in a simulation, bro. Cool.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter. Well,
and the other great thing is watching the video of him white dad dancing at the corporate event a couple of weeks ago. That was glorious. If you haven't seen it,
the what?
I happily missed that.
They were doing like a corporate event for Tesla or some shit, and he's like dancing a really middle-aged white dad on stage. It's worth a minute.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I don't know if you guys saw the video of Dance Dad, but that's actually a friend and coworker of mine out in Denver who did the Dance Dad video that had millions of views, where he danced.
Oh, the history of dance, the original most viewed YouTube video.
No, but the Dance Dad video that came out and went viral a few weeks ago.
Oh no, sorry.
If you haven't seen it, it's okay, but I'm sure a lot of people have. We may have him on the show.
I stopped watching YouTube after Chocolate Rain.
That's fair.
Hey, Tay Zonday started following me on Twitter after I checked into Chocolate Rain.
Are you serious?
True story. I found out he starts following everyone who's ever checked into Chocolate Rain, but I felt special for a minute.
Another notch on his belt.
Thank God for that. I can't believe you just sent this to me, Brett, but it is apparently Elon Musk dancing. I'm going to see if we can't close the show with putting that up, if it's possible.
GIF form too, so it'll just be on a loop.
I don't know if it will GIF or not, so we'll test it. But yeah, for those of you who are here with us, a couple more minutes. If you got questions for Matt James, if you know who he is, and say hello, please. We'd love to have everybody who's watching.
If you've seen him in person before,
is he real?
Let us know.
Matt James is a state of mind.
If you've touched him, actually, if you've been able to physically know he exists in this universe.
You know that P.T. Barnum used to say, "I'm inside of you," and then that became creepy all of a sudden.
There you go, guys.
Wait, are we doing moments of Zen now?
I think we're having a moment of Zen. But
You thought I bottomed out this show with my comment. Nope.
No, those dance moves were better than your comment, Adam.
They were not, and you know that.
Matt, there is one last thing I want to show if I can find that photo again. One of the nights you were not there, our dear friend Joshua Haddock, who have you talked to him recently? How's he doing?
It's been a little while, but I know that Josh is. I don't go on Facebook very often, and he's active on Facebook.
Okay, I did hit him up, and one of these days we might have to have a little reunion conversation.
Yeah.
But I distinctly remember, and I'm sorry if this ends up costing you your license, that we definitely stayed sometime.
I'm sorry if this costs you your license, but I'm going to go ahead and do it.
100%.
First of all, that wouldn't. I know that LCB is usually all the officers of LCB are really big viewers of the show, but probably not. Yeah,
I got all yourself.
Well,
we're big in Japan, not so much Seattle.
with that being said, apparently Josh was tired of making us drinks one night and let my dear friend Ricky first of all, peel his own fruit. So I'll show you that photo because it's miserable.
Right.
I think he might be overcompensating for something.
Did he hurt himself?
No, it just
Did that drink hurt him?
and then we decided. Yeah, it was delicious. Josh has laughed at it. And then we decided that Josh and I would have a drink, and Josh was tired of making drinks. So we made Ricky make us drinks.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
That's the right thing to do. So there you go. And that's also a great shot of the bar to show you guys how small and intimate it is, but there's so much back there, man.
That's a lot of booze.
It's going to look a lot different when we come back. I mean, like, the back bar and the bar are going to look very similar, but there's going to be some changes. And also we're going to keep, we've got a little over 500 different bottles, and we've still got those. So.
Well, Matt, before we sign off here with everybody, I think we've got a cool idea that has come out of this. Aside from drinking matching Tiger beers, which you'll have to join us for at some point, I think we should all do an episode where we slap together a craft cocktail with whatever the hell we have in our kitchen.
Just go to the fridge. Figure something out, man.
That's it.
You're not a real bartender if you can't do that.
It's true. We do not have our regularly scheduled Beat the Boredom this Thursday, just because the USPG is taking a hiatus and giving everybody a chance in terms of places are reopening in Arizona, which I think I told you about, Matt. They did yesterday.
Yeah.
A lot of them were very busy. So we're taking that little break, but
Grilled cheese sandwich edition.
yes, grilled cheese sandwich. It's not a bad idea. Maybe we'll do gourmet.
I love it.
Let's do it.
Hot dogs.
Actually,
I got dibs on making the one from Chef.
I may be able to get our friend Stephen Manning on here, who is the king.
Oh, yes.
He's the king of grilled cheese. And Matt, if you want to join us on Thursday and make grilled cheese at home,
I would love to.
Let's make it happen.
I think I can make that happen. What you guys do it at 7:30 usually?
You know what? Because it's not an official Beat the Boredom episode, I think we'll shoot for I'm okay with 7:30 again on Thursday if you guys want to do it. We'll figure it out.
But, I mean, like earlier or later?
Earlier.
Awesome.
Some of us
We're cooking dinner. Let's do it at like 5:30.
Adam's not going to be there. Sorry. It's really unfortunate.
To be fair, Adam is just always hungry, so he's always going to say have dinner.
Some of us eat later, Adam.
Some of us can eat earlier, though, right now.
We'll make a grilled cheese and then just eat it while we make grilled cheese.
I can do that.
You guys get to go outside, right? For me, there's no time. Time doesn't exist.
It's a construct.
Construct.
Yeah, it's just a construct. I woke up at like 5 o'clock this morning. I was up for about 5 hours. Then I took a nap for a couple hours, and then woke up. It's really weird.
Nate Caro is giving us a hard time saying what happened to the Q&A with Matt. Nate, I would love to ask your question, but we will be here an hour. With how eloquent Matt is, if I ask Matt his thoughts on climate change, this becomes a 4-hour episode.
Listen, I love Nick, but we'll talk about that some other night.
Perfect.
Deftly handled.
Matt, hang on with us after we go live. We always have a little decompression after the show.
Yeah, love it.
Once we're off. But hang tight. We'll do a quick toast, and we'll see whether or not I fake out Adam Green here, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Episode 16 of the Social Distance Drinking Club. Still social, still distant, with Matt James. And then, wait, we're doing the toast? There it is.
Okay, guys.
Salud. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you guys on Thursday.